Now let's see how to take inputs from user. So here I have created a new snack, and in this I have removed all the unnecessary code as well. Now as a placeholder, let's make a text element inside this view and let's write YOLO in it. Now let's start our app as well. Now for taking inputs from user, we have to import from the React Native package text input. And now let's add this text input in our view tag. Now let's provide this a value as well, and that value will be displayed when text input would be rendered on the screen. Now let's provide this some styling as well, and let's name the style as input. So now let's create that as well. And now using this style, let's increase its font size to 30. Now because our text input is aligned in the center, let's change it and let's stretch it. Then we can see that it will be stretched along the entire width of the screen. But the default value of align items is stretch, so even if we remove align items from here, then also it would not make any difference, and hence it would be stretched. Now in our text input, let's add some margin and padding as well. But now we can see that when we are typing something, that it's not being displayed in the text input, because in our text input we have fixed its value, which we have set it as type here. So here instead of value, I will be writing or using the placeholder property, and now we can see that whatever we are typing, that is being displayed in the text input. Now whatever we are typing in the text input, we can display that on our screen as well as output. So for that I have made an additional text element where we will be displaying our output, and in this text element we'll be enclosing it in the containing view tag, because otherwise you'll be getting an error that adjacent JSX elements must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. Now let's provide some styling to this text element as well, and let's name that style as output. So let's create that as well. Now let's in our text input, let's bind that to the state of the component, so that whatever value we are storing in the state, that is displayed in the text input, or sorry, output, and whatever we are typing in the input gets updated in the state, and then by using that value of state, then we can display that in the output value. So here I have created my state and I have written YOLO as the text's value. Now let's, rather than hard coding our text inputs value, let's bind it with the state, so that whenever we update the value in our state, that value gets displayed in our output. So now we can see that whenever we are updating the value inside state, then that value is being displayed in the text input. But now we can see that when we are trying to type something, then that is not being displayed in the text input. So next we have to bind in opposite direction as well. Then only whenever we type in the text input, that value gets updated in the state. For this, we will be using onChangeText property in text input, in which we will be passing an arrow function, and in this arrow function automatically whatever the latest value we have typed in text input will be passed in, and we will be using that value as input, and we will use that value to save in our state. Here, instead of using val, we can use any variable name, for example text. The benefit of using text is that inside set state we do not have to write text colon text, we can simply write text. Now finally, let's display that value in our text output as well, which we have saved in the state. And now we can see that whatever value we are typing in the text input, that value is being shown or displayed in the output as well.